Greetings fellow pagan pals, Bellarosa here, and we're looking at spiritual ways to use corn husk and silk. This idea comes from Deer and Raven, so thank you. Corn silk packs a pungent dose of magical uses for fertility, protection, divination, and love. I'm trimming off the brown ends before getting into our first use of these shiny strands, which is making tea. For thousands of years, Native Americans have used silk tea for its health benefits like lowering blood pressure and treating urinary tract infections. The list goes on and on, so check out more information and the recipe listed below. I'm just rinsing the corn silk before taking it over to the stove. For every quarter cup of corn silk, use 1 cup of water. Bring the water to a boil, turn the stove off, and allow the corn silk to steep for 10 minutes before straining. Even if you're not a tea drinker, you can still use the silk tea as blessing water. Just add a pinch of salt and you're good to go. Leave corn silk out to dry for a couple of days until it becomes dry and brittle, then toss it into a coffee grinder. I'm pulsing the corn silk in a NutriBullet. Now I have corn silk powder to add to my spell work for an added touch of good luck. Next up is a corn husk braid. Use freshly shucked corn, or if your corn husk is dried, be sure to soak it in water for 15 minutes to make it more pliable. Trim the husk from the base to make long strands for your braid, and then split one of the husk a few times to use as ties. Pre-tie some strands to make it easier to start and end your braid. Recite your favorite mantra while braiding. I'm chanting, "This home is tranquil. The people who dwell in this home are prosperous and healthy. This home is protected." You're weaving with the strength and intent of change, so whether you're connecting to forces within yourself, the universe, or calling upon harvest deities, remember to braid with clarity and with purpose as if these things already exist. Make as many braids as you'd like and put them around your home, at the entrance, above doorways or mirrors, or even by your bed. If you'd like, you can even write a prayer or blessing onto one of the husks before braiding. Be sure to double knot each of the ties, trim them, and trim the end of the braid. Dig out those unused chopsticks from your junk drawer because it's going to be the handle of our new broom. I cut a chopstick down to 4 inches, select a good piece of husk, trim the bottom. You don't want it too wide, just about 2.5 to 3 inches across. Start adding layers of husk on top of it. Use pieces that are thinner, mostly coming from near the cob. I have about 6 layers here. Fold the top down about 1 inch, and while applying continued pressure, lay the chopstick down over the husk about 1 inch inwards, and then begin to firmly roll the corn husk over it tightly, making sure that everything is evenly rolled up. Have a thin piece of twine 6 inches long ready and double knotted around your broom, again making sure it's nice and tight. Wrap the twine around the broom above and below the knot a total of 5 or 6 times, then double knot it in the back. Trim the edges and the bottom, and then start to make long tears. You can tear multiple layers at a time to speed things up. You can paint the handle or glue down a charm, a crystal, or a ribbon. The choices are endless. Lastly, we're making a mini cornucopia. It's pretty simple to put together. It's essentially just like a little ice cream cone, but made with corn husk. Just rub a glue stick down along one side of the corn husk and bring the ends together with one side overlapping the other to form a cone and let it dry. Fill your cornucopia with items that represent a goal, skill, or project you've been working on to show your gratitude. Corn is life and growth, death and rebirth all in one, so even this humble gesture can help us to focus, reflect, learn, and look ahead all in the present moment. There are so many ways to include corn husk and silk into your magical life that go beyond making a corn doll. So have fun exploring this magical ingredient. Subscribe now, become a pagan pal, like up this video, and I'll see you next time for another episode of My Pagan Pal Crafts and such. Bye!